Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and I'm here in Finland with Jari of Varusteleka, and we're going to talk about holsters a bit, because both of us are running red dot sights, specifically Holosun 509Ts, and I've done some content on mine already. I like it. There's a bit of distortion. Yours apparently has less than mine.
Yeah, it has some, but not that much.
Yeah. They're quite popular in Europe. They're about half the price of an aim point equivalent, of an acro.
Almost.
Yeah. So they're good value. I like the reticle. They're great. The problem was finding, for me at least, finding a holster that worked. Because if you go to the Safariland website, there's only one holster they say will actually work with a 509 on a Glock 17, and it's this one, the 7365 RDS. And the reason for this is that I was choosing the reason for this being a problem is that I was choosing a holster for Brutality, and you've probably seen Ian and me and others use M12 holsters, the flappy military ones, because
You need protection, like from mud, elements, and not to lose your gun.
yeah, nobody's winning or losing anything on the basis of a fast draw, but if your red dot gets in the mud, you are done. Even if you've got backup sights, you have tall sights on that, don't you? I don't. You're done. So protection is king, and I was looking through Safariland and thinking I'm going to open my wallet to them quite wide. So I want something that gives like ultimate protection for the gun, and they do all sorts of designs with hoods, which I'll probably put a close up there. They're supposed to fold over the sight, and the thing is, this holster, as you can see, it fits in, but I can't close the protective hood. Having dropped more than 200 Swiss francs on a holster, and it arrived, and I was like, nice. And then I've been discussing with Jari, and you have a 6354 DO, which has a good degree of protection, but not for the top. But it doesn't have a flappy hood or anything.
Yeah.
But you find that gets enough protection.
Yeah, because it's I've used this type of holster a long time, and I really like it, and it gives enough protection for the gun and the optic as well. But of course, it doesn't cover the whole optic. But I don't see that as a problem with the closed emitter system like 509 or aimbot acro, because if there is something, you can just swipe it out off with the thumb. But if you would have the open emitter optics, then I would definitely want to have the hood, at least in Finnish conditions.
Yeah, I mean the way the open ones are constructed, it's basically a shovel.
Yeah.
When it's upside down, and if you go prone, if you've got to crawl, and in October, Jari's booked lots of mud for Finnish Brutality, so there's going to be lots of people having their optics die, I think.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I would actually run an M12 holster if someone made an M12 holster with an extra bit to protect the sight, because they're fast enough.
Yeah.
And it really does give good protection. What I'm going to do with this is you get two of these hoods, one longer and one shorter, and I'm going to see if I can pull out my arts and crafts and cut it up and modify it with a bit of pipe or something, just to see if I can get over it. And what's quite cool about these, which I can't show you with this because it doesn't actually work with the sight it's supposed to, is that you can leave the flap closed, and then when you draw the gun, you just pull through it and it pops open. And it just struck me as that's about as much protection as you can possibly get. Plus it's this great big thing. Another annoying thing about the Safariland website is that they say that this holster won't work if you don't have a light mounted. Works fine. The retention is fine. And yours how does yours go without it?
Not really well. It requires light to properly lock the pistol down. and it has you can adjust the retention, so that helps a bit, but this definitely requires the light.
Yeah, okay. This one you can adjust retention a bit, but it's like, why have this complicated website with, you can't even really browse the holsters. You have to go down and it's like menus and what gun is it and what have you got on it, and then it comes out and tells you lies.
Yeah, it's, I think they finding the right Safariland holster requires some digging, especially if you have a funny combination with the light and optics and all that stuff. So yeah, I bumped in the same challenges with their system, but have to say that once you crack the code, that what the product code means and what gun and optic and light, and then you can manage.
Yeah. So it's another case of the market not actually quite providing what people want. But yeah. And you sell those ones, don't you?
Yeah, we have a limited amount of Safariland holsters, like for Glock pistols in our assortment, and but it's also like the availability is quite poor, so we always get what we get.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to order this, and it took like 3 months to arrive.
Yeah, but with the kind of overall, I think that for whether it's any type of brutality matches or let's say Finnish reservist shooting or something, I usually recommend something which is really protecting the gun, because there is a good chance that when you are crawling or going on your side or something, things might happen.
Yeah.
So better kind of have a bit more protection and be faster in another parts of the shooting than the fastest draw. One thing, like, people are pretty obsessed that how much protection you need for the optic. I think it's the same with the iron sights. Like if you jam them full of mud, it's gonna cause problems.
Pretty bad too.
So it's the same thing. And I think with the optic, if you get something there and you have a closed system, it's easier to solve that problem than iron sights.
Yeah, you wipe it.
Yeah.
Wipe it off. You don't have to dig out in the middle of the notch. But we've seen so many people with open emitter optics have problems, particularly here in Finland where it's quite wet. In 2019, Rudy Reyes, his rifle optic died because it got full of rain. And after seeing that, I was like, "Ooh, I'm not at home to these closed red dots only from now on." And I think everything's going to go more and more in that direction on the market. So, anyway, thanks for that. We're going to do some pistol training. That is for another video. Loads of content coming out of this trip in Finland, where I've been invited to an SRA reservist competition and to be guest of Jari here as well. And I'm having an awful lot of fun and bringing you guys along for the ride. So thanks for that. Thanks to patrons who make it possible, and see you next time. Bye.